Good evening, everyone. Good to see y'all again. Welcome back to another night of American Reaching Mahjong League. I am here covering some Wednesday night games with none other than Nathaniel. Nathaniel, how you doing today?
Doing pretty well. Have recovered from another Michigan trip to play and teach mahjong, and now we're here to watch some mahjong. Normal night on Wednesday night.
Yep. We are hopping a bit into the middle here. Things started at a bit of an exact pace. So we are hopping right in the middle of a C2 game with some familiar faces at the table.
Yeah, I can see that the dealer right now is actually to our left. It's Koichi from Chicago, well known for his very standard gameplay. Uh, the player we are currently sitting behind in the south seat, Justin, hails from the Oklahoma City Club, or rather one of the Oklahoma chapters. And of course, on the right, Benjamin is hailing from the Kansas City group, so a few Midwesterners. And then a sub tonight, Ada. Surprised to see Ada here in C2, and it's because Ada is acting as a sub this evening. So that's why you see no stats on the upper right-hand corner of your screen where you can match the names to the usernames. And, Koichi, as the dealer on the left, is calling open, just trying to shut down a dealer repeat here. But Justin is matching the speed with a couple of Holm calls, perhaps a toy with Dora 3.
Oh, sorry about that. Quick wrong switch there. Looks like we've already missed a little bit. Not too much excitement here. Game's still relatively even.
Yeah, even though it's East 4, the scoreline is very tight. Justin has come out ahead, but now 3 players Tempai. The big hand on the right, though, is not. 2 players Tempai. The player across, Benjamin, is also 1 away. And there's the East. Now we have all 3. It's a 6-mon and 3-pin weight, which is completely held outside of 1 6-mon versus the 3-mon, 6-mon for Koichi, who is also really looking for that last 6-mon. And then Ada on the left with North Call waiting on the 2-5 pin. No 2 pins left. You can see those pulling to the right, but there are 5 pins available.
I don't think people are realizing how relatively safe this actually is.
Oh. That's A-okay. That's definitely a tile you shove with the Manga on hand. Actually, it's East Toy Dora 3 for Hanuman. And Justin will not be too sad to deal into only 1,800 here.
Oh yeah, especially from this standpoint, that's you happily just throw that at every time. You're like, oh well, at least you get a chance to try again. It is still only East 4. So we've got time to try that again.
All right, East 4, repeat. We're up to 2 Homa now. Koichi, as the dealer, starts with 9-pin, 8-pin, 3-pin. You can kind of tell what's happening with his hand. Collecting Mon tiles and Honor tiles. Looks like it's going to be a flush unless we draw a Dora very soon. Could even call here, but it's not necessarily the best. We'll just snatch it up. And maybe you can play for Chinitsu, the full flush.
Across the way, we might have some Itsu dreams, some full straight. Looks like hands developing very nicely for Justin on our right, and then on our left, Ada. Looks like a nice pinfu hand. Still has a couple things to clear out beforehand, though.
Yeah, Koichi's kind of made his game plan very clear, so there's a lot of responsibility on Ada now to not feed the dealer hand any tiles. This East comes a little late. It's been twice discarded already, so it can only act as the pair in the hand, and that really devalues this hand. 2 Han for a flush is not that expensive. It will be 2,900 plus the 600 of home boss, so it does increase a little bit in value, but unless you get Itsu on top of it, or maybe you pair up the Green Dragon and find a triplet later on, it seems like this will be a relatively inexpensive hand for Koichi once again.
Yep. Might still just be banking on the repeat here. And also, it's 2 free save tiles. If something else sketchy happens on the board, you've got 2 tiles to bail out. Oh, there's the feed. There's even a chance for the straight here.
Yeah, that's the Itsu to upgrade the value would be really huge here. Oh, but we're going to see a Ricci.
And
Benjamin taking this one. Ricci Pinfu, 5-8 Mon. He's waiting in the same suit as the flush.
at a relatively live weight, too. We only see 3 held, one in a call, but 2 otherwise in the hand. But we're going to see a chase.
Oh,
Oh,
Onipatsu!
no time to call out the
Justin
weight. Oh,
finds the Ura as well.
that's
And
a
he's going to collect the Ricci sticks, collect the home ball, but more importantly, collect 8,000 points directly on a beautiful chase. Nothing Benjamin could do about that one. Took a good Ricci, got chased by the better hand, and Justin, 44,900 going into the South round, is looking good.
that was almost the Haramani missed out on the last hand with everything that was in the pot. So we'll call that one even.
Opening up this hand, Justin is looking relatively fast here. 2 away from tempo already, although holding a lot of contrast shapes. 3-5-7 Mon needs 1 tile to fill in there, and then 2-4 pin, of course, needs a 3 pin. Can also hope to draw the Dora. In fact, kept the East over the 1, so there's maybe a potential dream of 1-2-3 Sanchoku if you held on to that a little bit longer. But now the play is pretty straightforward for Justin as he upgrades the Kanchan and the Pinzu into a Yamen. On the right, Benjamin is also a little bit pair heavy, but has relatively strong shapes and, most importantly, Dora pair. Across the table, Ada already opened up for a Honitsu. Yakuhai gets the Seat Wind and the White Dragon Pulm, and it is in the Dora suit as well. So this is looking to be a Mongon plus. On the left, Koichi. Maybe a Tanya here. A lot of pairs in the hand.
It does not look like player on the right's really considering the pairs hand here. We'll probably want to hold on to more Pinzu now that they see what's going on off to their right.
Yeah, this is a spot where I find Benjamin. I do not drop any pin tiles if I can help it. The White Dragon is safe, so I have lots of room to play around. Here's the 2 pin. We might end up using the 1 pin as the pair and cutting an extra couple so tiles.
Oh, if there's not an announcement that 8 is ready, throwing 9 pin and then Dora is might be a clue.
Yeah, I think once you make 1 overflow, the table should be on high alert. Once the Dora comes out, you should expect it to be Tempai. So we shouldn't see any dangerous pin tiles coming out. Now, it turns out Benjamin can actually play the 1 pin out. And this is a really great question, as we see Koichi actually get into Tempai here. But Dama might be able to snipe the 1 pin from Benjamin if he tries to push it out, but Ben will play the 6 fill instead.
Yep, I think that's exactly why we see Koichi doing this is because if Koichi goes ahead and decides, never mind, decides to go ahead and send the Ricci. Very understandable here, though. Has the value.
But Tempai for Benjamin and the Ipatsu timing is crazy. We'll find the 1 pin that was Gembutsu to the flush, and Koichi will take a manga in hand. How's that for wait 1 turn?
Oh, that's dirty. That didn't feel right.
Koichi, what are you madman? Okay, so hear me out. He waits 1 turn to see if the 1 pin will filter out from the hands, and after going around the table once, he says, you know what? It's just not coming out. It's got to be in the wall, so he slams the Ricci, but just then Benjamin finds the Tempai. So, unfortunate to have drawn the triplet there in the Tempai. If he's really being cautious, maybe could have gone 9-so, 9-so to dance around, but it's pretty unlikely you're going to get back to a good Tempai there, so understandable, just try to take the challenge. I guess he had the 1-4-7 pin to draw into Tempai, so it was an interesting shot. But that being said, Benjamin will be the dealer. Has a lot of ground to make up now. Not bad draws, though, from the get-go. Already 2 away from Tempai, and maybe Tanya Pinfu to cap it off here.
Yep, you almost wonder if from Koichi's perspective on that last hand, maybe it was less so like waiting the 1 turn and then seeing it trickles out more so than maybe deciding, I could Dama this and being like, but I don't wanna, and then sending it.
I get that feeling sometimes. I'm like, I think this should be a Ricci, but let's just see what happens. And then as the tiles are coming around during the Dama, I'm like, you know what? This really should just be a Ricci. Let's go. Let's send it.
Yeah, I don't want to think about this hand anymore. Nice upgrade for Koichi across the way. gonna go ahead and cut out that 7-9 shape. Looks like really hoping to draw Dora in order to upgrade this hand.
Yeah, interesting cut here from Benjamin, cutting 6-7 right into Tempai. No slam! Ricci.
Oh yeah, you send this. Look, this is beautiful. Oh, what
1-4-7?
Each.
All right, just waiting for the Ipatu chase. Reach! Nice. All right, and Justin, a little bit of trouble here, just on the 7, so there's only one copy of the 7 so left. If to win on, it is Ricci Ipego, but the odds are not looking good compared to this dealer, Ricci. Oh, Ricci Pinshu did not take the 1-4-7, really wanted to guarantee Tanyao. Still has the advantage, but the outs are lessened here.
I do wonder if it maybe have been, if they may have seen it or really thought the 2-pin may be a little safer to throw in comparison to the 5.
Oh, no, Justin, no, not like this. Just as he did to Benjamin, Koichi will chase with just a Kanchan waiting on the Dora and find it on Ipatsu. It is Koichi who is taking the lead with that huge Kanchan Ricci.
That almost felt worse for Benjamin here. Like that, like you had a decent weight, you had the ready hand. 2 people chase in and whack each other instead, and there goes your dealership.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and also for Justin, you deal into Yaman, that's one thing. If you deal into Concha, drawing the door on Ipatsu, that's another. But hang on a second, the excitement is not fading. Ada opens up Dora 2, East Wind as the dealer, already one away from Tempai. One call will be Tempai for a potentially Dora 3 hand.
Yeah, what a start for Ada, and Ada here is, of course, substituting in. I believe that they're in B1, B2 league. I cannot remember off the top of my head. But they're taking some time off this season, but decided to graciously help us out by subbing in.
I fear for Benjamin that East came out first, which is almost fortunate because now that you know there's door 3, you might play around, but it's just way too early. Ada swaps the weight. Okay, Ben is safe for the time being. Tonki is so easy to play around.
Yeah, this is the play to switch around, because now it's not really about waiting on the 7-pin, right? It's about seeing what you can swap it out for, right?
Oh, this chi is kind of disgusting.
Oh, this would be
this
gnarly.
Chi. Are we gonna see it? No one's considering pull. This is Ada right now, thinking about the cheat. Let's it go. We'll take presumably this 2-sided weight. It's 2-sided, but it's in the middle. I'd rather be on 6-9 so. And if I find a good honor tile, maybe a good terminal tile, I might swap over to that. For example, if I drew the 9-mon, I'd love to just cut the 6-mon.
Oh, clearly this should have been 5-pin Tonki.
Apparently. Benjamin still Ishanten on the left.
Oh, Khan, that lights up the red dragon, which is only once cut and otherwise unseen on the table. It remains to be seen if this will act, if anybody will draw into this, but it will. Oh, nope, no fear.
Okay,
this is
1-mon for Tanyao. We'll keep Benjamin alive.
This is, let's see, that's 3-pin 6-0. One of the 6s, of course, now in the dealer's hand, and one of the 3 pins across the table from him, in Koichi's. Yeah. There is a potential for a double run here if something catastrophic happens.
Yeah, 6-mon still out there, so it could deal into both hands. And we'll see if Ada ever swaps out. That was the 6-0 that would have loved to have earlier, but it is not so good now with the 9-0 coming out so many times. There's the 6-mon, and Justin will correctly bow out with a 1-pin.
Yep, does not trust that, and there's no reason to trust that here. There's a Ricci on the table, because what that might imply is that obviously Benjamin thinks that his hand can beat the dealer's, and dealer's just going to continue to push, because why wouldn't they? So if I'm Walter, if I'm Justin, I'm out. I don't want anything to do with this. Oh,
there's the 3, the last copy of the 3-mon.
And now
that goes Ada's way. This has been a battle. It was Justin, then Koichi, and now Ada the sub is in the lead, but still, South 3, repeat 1. Time to go for Koichi or Justin to make a comeback here. Ada, though, looking pretty strong. Already one completed shape at Adora Diamond. And some decent floaters for a potential outside hand. Maybe a Junchan even. What else are we seeing?
Let's see. I think we believe. I think Benjamin might believe in the Pinzu flush here. I might even be so bold to say that could be a full flush, and I'm sure actually Benjamin's probably considering it. We only have possibly as little as two hands to make up points here.
Yeah, at this point, you might not be holding out a lot of hope to catch up to maybe third place. However, you can make sure that you're not the only player below 30,000 points. That's a big deal. And aside from that, just winning points is good. Even if you're going to be in fourth place, even if you're going to be the only player below 30,000 points and taking an extra 5 points of UMA hit, still, it's good to win points because if you're winning points, you're not losing points. And so winning any hand will be strong for Benjamin. Not playing for the flush, it looks like cutting away the honor tiles. In the meantime, Koichi playing for perhaps a 5, 6, 7 Sanshoku needs a 6 pin and then a 2 or 5 so to complete the hand. Across the way, that is a straight coming through for Justin. Potentially needs the 6 mon specifically, but 3 mon will also give a tempai. Nice Biancan shape for 6, 8. Biancan is like the double middleweight, double kanchan.
Interesting cut from Ada here is turning this awkward 1 2 2 2 3 shape into just an onko. Oh, does it say surely not? Surely we don't see the con here, but this 7-pin pickup is interesting.
Yeah, it gives us 7 pairs outs. Oh, cuts the Dora.
Doesn't even think about pairing it up. This is this is a full triplets commit if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, and Ada is known to do this. Play for the triplets. Has a pretty good eye for picking out the tiles that are live in the wall. And, well, tempai now for Toy Toy. Oh, but we're going to see Sumo Koichi, the Dama Mangan, is going to exchange places once again, taking over the lead. Had gotten to that tempai, not slamming the Ricci because the weight was a little bit poor and the value was already strong enough. But finding that Sumo is huge because Ada was the dealer, taking in 4,000 points of payment there. And then, of course, Koichi picking up 8,000 is a 12,000 point swing between the two of them. And Koichi in a strong position here to take first place, but not settling. Look at this hand. 2 Dora. What is that? 4 pairs. Potentially Pinhu Ipeiko as well. Who knows what's going to happen if one of these pairs turns into a sequence.
Are we ever patient enough for this to be Chitoy? I don't think so.
Chitoy is possible, and you have the pairs.
You have the pairs, but also pairs make for good calling. So
with Dora 2, I presume our goal is to call. It's good enough, a good enough hand to aim for. But if it doesn't build, right, if you don't get the right calls, sometimes it can accidentally turn into Chitoy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. We got a tempai. Is it going to be the South Tonki? No, it's going to be 3-6 mon. Ricci Tanyao Ipeiko.
Yeah, a decent hand here. That would be, let's see, with the current
short.
Yeah, a little short. We're gonna need some extra points from somewhere.
Yeah, we're of course talking about the overtake. Sumo of a Mangan is not enough. Direct hit of a Mangan is not enough. So it's got to be a Haruman. It's got to be Ura somewhere.
And now, if we're Koichi, we're really considering what we want to do here. We have points. It's a matter of how many we want to give up. That was a
Koichi says, you know what? I don't really have anything better to do than just jam this 5 mon out there. And kind of the same decision here. 2 pin is a little okay, but yeah, sends it.
Validated after by the 5-pin drop. Of course, part of that decision for Koichi is also what else was he going to throw?
Right, could she here? Not amazing. Instead draws the 7-pin. That's perfectly fine. So Ishanten, a lot of ways to get into tempai, but the tiles are somewhat thin. Ooh, checking the chi, not so good. Oh,
Oh,
the Dora, now that's pretty good. Could cut 8 mon here and slam. Or sorry, 8 so, I
it's,
mean. Could cut the 7 so as well, because the 8 so might look good later.
this is a bit of an odd Shabo weight considering we already hold one of our winning tiles, but that's okay because we haven't had to throw anything that we're worried about yet.
Yeah, lots of. Oh, there are some pin draws that change the shape, but that also usually implies a 3-6-9 pin, which waits on the Funi 10-9 pin. So got to be a little bit careful about that.
And
3-6 Mon, where are those? Pretty hell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only one in the wall. And there's the 8 so. Ada will hang on for now. And
across
another copy of the 8 so and a Sim pin.
across the way, we do have a fight. Benji wants to probably pull in what points he can. He has Tempai waiting 8 Mon, 6 So. Of course, 6 So are completely. Actually, both sides of that are held. One of the 8 Mon by himself, the other by Ada. Oh, there's the 9 pin.
Yeah, can change the weight. Will change the weight. Or Tsumukiri?
Let's see. Oh, yep.
It's Tsumukiri. Okay.
Just decides, there's enough draws left. Let's go ahead and see what happens.
Maybe hit the Regi button to get a few more seconds to think about what he wanted to do with it.
Does it give you more time?
I think so, yeah.
All right. 3 players Tempai. That's actually arguably an important. That was an important staying Tempai for Ben as well, picking up even just 1,000 more points and another chance to scrape something in here.
Yeah, keep in mind, if he hits Justin directly with 2 Han 40 Fu, that will bring Justin below 30,000 points and save 5 points for Benjamin. It'll be at approximately a Mongon, with only 2 Han. Similarly, if you can hit Ada with 5,200, that will accomplish the same goal. So there are some options here for Ben, not to mention picking up the Ricci sticks as well.
Yeah, however, we'll have to see if he gets the chance. Koichi looks like has a nice lightning fast hand and has an incentive to go ahead and call this down just because there is 2 sticks in the middle that you probably wouldn't mind having.
Justin as well with potentially very fast hand. It is Ishanten, 4 so 7 so the ideal draws here for Pihu and potentially Ipeko alongside the Dora Formon. There are other ways to Tempai as well. If you keep drawing Mon tiles, you might be convinced to move towards Chinitsu.
Yeah, based off of this gap, you're not quite Hanuman Direct, but
Now, Mongon Direct
no,
will do it now.
Direct. Yep, Mongon Direct would do it. But we've got to draw those tiles first. Okay, that's a pretty full commit to there. Goes decides, well, if I'm here, I might as well try.
Hey, that's the route to Mongon. I mean, Hanuman, actually. With Chinitsu, with the Dora. Let's take a look at Ada's hand on the left, Ishanten. Just floating that 7 so out there. Might want to swap that for something else, in fact. Yep. Also, trying to consider a way to get into a direct fight with Koichi. Koichi has to be a little bit careful here because if he slams a Ricci, he could get in trouble. But there's the call that will save him that problem. And now the issue is the 2-5 so is not extremely live.
Yep. I don't know if Justin knows it, but it was very good for him to kill. There's another one. Oh no. And there goes the connector for it. Boom.
Here we go. Boom. That is not going to be the most expensive hand, but Koichi will extend the gap, pull the Ricci stick back in, up to 52,900. Justin still over 30K, very importantly.
Yep. Although I do think this might be someone else's hand here, unless we see some crazy draws. Koichi has what I like to call a hand of all time.
Certainly is one of those.
But look at that.
He's got the Hatsu pair. I mean, the hand is really straightforward now. You just cut the Chun, you cut the Haku, you cut the 8-mon, 3-1-mon, you draw around the Dora, you call the Hatsu, and you're golden.
You make it sound so easy.
If only I could actually draw as way as I plan. Justin on the right, though, has a similarly callable hand, and he might be no longer considering the play for first, but second certainly within range.
Oh yeah. And honestly, even now, like a positive third, depending on where we are in the standings, it's not something to frown upon. Let's see.
Yeah, Justin right around the middle of the standing, slightly negative, but positive points will certainly help. Of course, your goal in the C leagues and even the lower B leagues is to be positive at the end of the season. You never know what can happen.
Yep. Not just a positive outlook, but positive points.
Exactly. Good to be positive as well. Okay, Ben making the move. Going to play for Tanyao. Any direct hit is going to be enough to drag Justin below. So that's what Ben's going to be aiming for here.
Oh, Dora pair up. Oh my god. Lobster too buttery and steak too juicy for Koichi. Pairs up the Dora and still has this hand fairly callable. We just wonder, where is the green dragon? Usually another one would have shown itself by now. Oh, speaking of. Boom.
You ask, you shall receive. Go ahead and cutting the 1 mon because that's been discarded once already, but we can see the 3 mons are actually pretty locked away at current stage, and we'll upgrade now to a 3/3/4 Diamond Perfect Ishantan.
Interesting cut of the 2-mon from Ben here, but of course is committed to, and is rewarded, was committed to keeping the 3-mon as the pair. And if toss this here, okay. It is going to hold on to that for now.
Koichi not liking the 2/5 mon, so we'll swap the 4-mon out for a better acceptance in the upper Pingzu.
Maybe suspects with that 2/4 cut that either so he just isn't holding on to it, or that maybe even could have read that Ben had him and just was keeping him as a pair.
Yeah, I mean, we are Furiten on the 5-mon, so there's that to consider. But also the 2-mon has
Yes.
come out a bunch of times. Oh, is this a toy look?
It's not ruling out a normal
out there.
hand, but yeah, it decides might as well make it expensive.
Yeah, and really no biggie if Koichi deals into Ben here. Just has to worry about the Ada hit mostly. Going into Dora Tonki. I would think I prefer aiming for the direct hit on Justin instead. A little bit hard to get Dora Tonki off of Justin.
Yeah, and we do have Tempai from Justin, but no Yaku because we have yet to see any of the White Dragon. We'll see if I summon it again. Of course, Justin is doing this because really needs.
Oh, gets the right side for the Sanshoku.
I completely missed that.
The 2 came out so many times, and it wasn't going to be the win, of course. It needed to be the 5/8, so Justin falls a little bit short. Need a little extra foo in order to bump over Ada, but still confirms a positive third. Very important that he beat Tempai there and got the win as well. It was 1 tile off from Haitate Sumo as well. Perhaps it was 1 call away. But as the case may be, Koichi, the big winner, plus 36.7, $8 sub for this game. Takes the second plus 9. Justin, 3.4. Challenging game for Benjamin, but hanging in there in the positives still. Well, perhaps that was before the standings got updated. It looks like still on 6 games. So the numbers aren't changing, although 7 games have been played. So we can imagine that will be dipping down just a bit, but let's see where Koichi will presumably stand after the updates coming through, as they do. 145.5, third place overall in the C2 division. 0 fourths to start off the season.
C2 has had some people just running up the score already. And we see this, especially with a pool this big. It tends to happen a little more often. People can just get some good runs going. Just the variety of players, people at various levels of learning, and also Also, like I said, it's incentive just to be very aggressive here because you have a lot more competition and you really want to be positive as positive as possible.
Absolutely. And hey, I want to shout out Jun Han here in the C2 division, IORMC member,
Yes,
team member for representing the US.
a few of
Joined
y'all,
the server for IORMC and also plays in Arbol now.
yeah. If any of y'all, shout out to anybody who woke up nice and early with us last weekend to join Max and I that for a very fun stream. That a lot of tough competition this tables. Let me tell you. Um, we the U.S. definitely put up a good fight, but unfortunately, our team as a whole did not make it. However, Matthew, who I believe is currently up in the A1 division, was able to qualify as an individual. So we'll be playing in the ROMC finals in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, the playoffs, the individual playoffs, I believe are on the 15th, I want to say. That Saturday. Yes, Saturday the 15th. So about a week and a half away. Are we going to be streaming that too? Watching Matthew's journey, or is that too early for another broadcast?
Um, I think we should. I mean, he made it that far. The least we can do is document his journey.
Yeah, I was in Michigan during the IORMC itself, so I missed it. I would love to uh, watch the individuals if we can. So hopefully we do get to watch Matthew. Congratulations again to him. We are into our second game of the C2 division. Justin, our first dealer. On the right is the winner of the first game, Koichi. Across the table, Benjamin, and Ada to the left. 8 Pandora, and Justin opens up with none of those. A single copy of the East. Maybe the skeleton of a full straight in the Manzu, but really rough going. You can see the first bunch of discards here just honored singletons, and we'll be looking for something better. In fact, kind of everyone around the table searching for something good. Koichi finds triplet of the Red Dragon on the right. It's a
Finds that triplet
decent
after
start.
skipping the call on it. So definitely rewarded for patience here. Why do you think he skipped that?
Well, hold that thought. We already have a Ricci from Ada on the 3-pin. Ricci, door 2, pulled in the door for that and get the Suji Trap Ricci. Really sneaky wait here. We'll see if it pays off. 3 copies in the wall, so might just Suji Trap the wall itself. In terms of Koichi's decision, I just think the value wasn't strong enough. He said, "There's another copy of the tune out there. If it stuck at the dead wall, his hand probably wasn't going anywhere anyway." And I'd like to see what my draws are first.
Interesting. Very patient move then. I know generally I see a lot more people with the philosophy of if it comes out, you should call it. But of course
Yeah,
now,
even the bots call it a lot, but the shapes were a little
see,
bit weak, and he wanted to draw a door. I valued the draws a lot more. Now Shanten,
and of course now also means that if he really wants to bail, now has an entire triplet to bail with.
that's a good point as well. Once you open up, you're a little bit vulnerable, and without the value to be worth fighting for, sometimes you want to keep those relatively safe tiles pinned away in your hand so that you can throw them out later if necessary. All right, here's a big decision point. The 6-0 and the 9-0 and the 8-0, safe, but the 5-0, not really immediately clear. The 2-0 appears to have come out after the Ricci, though, so that makes the 5 not so bad because you can see so many of the 6s. In fact, all of the 6s.
Yep, it was. I think it was Nakasuji, middle Suji, with the 8 as well.
Yeah, it works as well. 7-pin rather, a little bit too hard to push here. Even seeing 3 copies of the 6-pin, the Dora indicator is such a tough tile to push. We will see Benjamin finding a tempai, though, waiting on the 4-so. Huditen. Technically, it's a 1-4-so wait, but there's no copies, and there's a Tsumo from Ada with the Mungon.
Oh, very, very nice.
Took so long to find one of those 3 pins, but when the first one showed up, it showed up in Ada's hand, and so that Mongon will lead us into East 2. Koichi, the dealer now, one copy of the east, always important to track where the double east is around the board, and those copies are on the wall. 0 copies of the Dora 1 mon, though.
Yeah, across the way, a little bit of awkward, maybe Pinfu hand, maybe call a go hand for Ada. For bench, it looks like I want to say Pinfu Tanya or both if we're very lucky. And if we're feeling a normal hand, that might be a quick hand for Justin. If we're not, I feel like saying the word flush is too greedy here, but that's it. That's assuming that would be the main path to value here for that hand.
Just want to take a time out to talk about something that happened in Koichi's hand near the beginning. He had a 1-2 so, an 8-9 so, and rough shapes. And had to decide which penchan to cut, the 1-2 so or the 8-9 so. It wasn't really usually there's it's kind of a symmetric shape, so there's not really a lot of information one way or another. But in this case, he chose to keep the 9-8 so. Why do you think that is? Notably, he'd already cut the 8 mon, so Sanchoku was not really an option.
I was gonna say, I mean, there's a skeleton of a Itsu there, but of course he cut it. So I don't know. Enlighten me.
My guess is that he saw the early 9 so cuts from Benjamin and Ada, and decided if they had a 7 so in their hand, they probably would have kept the 9 so, unless they have a copy of the 6 so to accompany it. But you can't guarantee that. So there's a slightly higher probability that the 7 so is live in the wall than the 3 so.
Oh.
And if that was his read, he's right. All 4 copies are there. But Justin gets to Tenpai first.
Yep. To Tenpai looks like it is 4-7, which is nice. As far as Justin can see, nice and live. We, of course, can see 3 of the 7s and 2 of the 4s, one of which, of course, is in Justin's hand. So still nice live weight for him, but I think that... Oh,
Benjamin's going to shut it down. And I had a lot to talk about Koichi's 8 so push there, too, but we're not going to have the time. As the sumo comes through, and Benjamin will take the dealership.
Yep.
That might be a good hand to look back as well. When you're defending against that reach, or not really defending, trying to push against it, what is the best way to do it? And the 8 so is a really interesting try. It had a lot of nuance to it, I feel. But Benjamin will be the dealer now. Haku paired up in hand, and already 2 away from Tenpai. So quite fast start, although not really value contained in this hand.
Oh, interesting. Did decide to cut the east over the red dragon here, and I think that's one of those, just a little small bit of stuff here. I think it's there's so much value in the double east, like you were saying the last hand. It's worth looking at where those are, and I know players that will even glue that thing to their hand, sacrificing some out of efficiency, because just being able to open up for 2 Han is and repeat your dealership is so valuable.
Yeah, I want to, a lot of players will keep the once cut east, double east, over the 0 cut dragon. So we'll keep it that strongly. And even go further. We will see the Dora come out, I suspect, because the 5 pin and the 7 pin have shown up 3 times each. So it's really hard to use the Dora. To that point, though, you might look to use it as a pair, perhaps, but there are so many pairs in the hand already that Ben decides to play for the Haku. And out it comes. We'll see the call and
interesting
Ishanten
choice
taken
here. Okay.
Classically widest, I believe, was the 5 mon there, but this leaves more pawn options if that's something you're looking to do.
Yep, I think it's a tough one, because yes, it does pawn options, but it's the 5 mon, which I don't expect people to flow out of people's hands too quickly. But of course, that is swapping out for other pawnable options, which are not my favorite either. Well, nice pickup for Koichi there. Now Ishan 10, looking for the straight for sure.
Yeah, definitely wants the straight, but there's a lot of other tiles that will give Tenpai as well. If he draws 3 mon or 5 mon, can just cut the 9 so out of the triplet for the straight. Doesn't have to take a Tonki weight or some sort of penchan weird what is that, Nobitan weight.
Oh, we saw we saw a tackle deal into the Tempai on the right, but of course it was Furitan, and that actually means that that was Furitan as well. So Ben gets to play on.
Temporary.
Yep.
That's so rare. You usually don't see it. Koichi finding the right moment to cut the form on there said, "This Richinomi is not good enough for me. I want more."
Oh, cuts it
Now
again.
temporary Furitan again. Oh no, and permanently Furitan now.
Oh
Ada not
no.
getting the draws. There's no, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 tiles left in the wall for Ada to draw, so needs to switch this weight. Benjamin has conned the 3-mon to be the Dora and now switches to 1-pin 5-so. This 1-pin is so trapped. There's the switch for Ada onto the 2-mon 3-so. It will be the Shabo weight for Tanyao, Dora 1. Oh,
Oh
and there's the
no.
3-so. Benjamin needs to swap here, but it's Furitan. The 1-so is also out.
Oh.
Finds the 5-so into Furitan. Dodging the deal in.
Yep. And there
And the
looked.
4-so is not going to deal in here. So much Furitan. This 1-pin looks pretty safe, but Koichi's going to hold it. He's
That,
probably wondering where the other copies are given the number of 2s and 3s that are out.
we can file this game later under for a textbook lesson on Furitan and what it does. Uh, that temp-
G321 and get another draw? No, we'll just let it go to Ryukyoku. Okay. No Haite, no Hote. It will be a draw. Benjamin looks at that hand and says, yes. I almost made the perfect decision. The only better decision would have been to cut the 2-so and actually be able to roam the 4-so, but you couldn't have known.
no. It was a fun little dance there going into the next hand, and Koichi, there's value right there. Quick East Pawn, Dora pair, another callable shape. I don't know how much. I don't know if we'll make it out of the first row.
Classic call and go. Well, we'll see. Koichi still needs to find one more shape. Interesting, a lot of players I think would just cut the 4-pin there immediately. Koichi holds on to it an extra turn, but now it goes. As Koichi's found all the blocks that he needs. Locking in the door pair. Oh, Chi into Tempai, and it's potentially Mungon now. If you can find another copy of the 3-pin. Only one tile for that weight in the wall, though. The 7-mon and the 3-pin.
And you can see that the 3-pin is going to nestle decently enough into anybody else's hand. I could easily see either Justin or Ada being willing to play around in order to keep that shape, keep it in the shape, even if it is making the shape less efficient.
These shapes are always a little tricky when you have a sequence shape and you draw a triplet. Justin actually bows out of the sequences and just says the 7-mon will be my pair, I suppose. And then I'm left with a 2-4-6 Diancon, which fills. So no Pihu. Oh, well, we'll play with the Pihu and deal in.
Oh.
Understandable the way the hand played out. And Koichi will snatch up 3,900 plus Humbo. Should we switch perspective or stay right here as Ben plays for Kokushi?
Let's see. Does Ben see it? Does Ben want it? Let's find out.
Does Ben want it.
I see 6 or 7
I will go
coming
6
out first.
6-0.
6.
6-0 in Chanta. Oh, I'll let you know. Okay, we can switch.
Okay.
No drama here. Ben plays classic hand. Koichi also opening up across the way with the Chun here. So speed is going to be the name of the game for him.
This isn't Kokushi, but this might be Sanshoku Chanta? Midwest players known for loving Chanta, at least some of them.
I feel like if you're going to play for the Chanta, you want to cut the 6-so 7-so pretty soon. Like, yeah, honor tiles are totally fine to pair up, even if you're planning to play Junchan, and you don't need 2 copies of the 7-so in this hand. You certainly don't need the 6-so. There goes.
Yep. Unfortunately for Ben, if you look across the way from him in Justin's hand, I think those 9-so are needed to really make this hand valuable.
Fortunately, Ben doesn't need to get the 9-so at all if he finds something around the Manzu. So, an out, potentially. Still, it's totally acceptable to cut one of the copies of the 7-so because without Junchan or Chanta, you don't have a Yaku, and you can't make the Junchan or Chanta with a pair of the 7-so, so you could only use one. The 7-so's got to go, and out it goes. Playing for the door Tonki here. Looks like Ada is playing for a big hand here. Another pull towards Toy Toy. We see this all the time when Ada is sitting at the table. Draw one of the triplets yourself, or the two remaining triplets. You can't even get Son Uncle. Oh, door pair. That's what Koichi's been waiting for. Now cut the 8-mon for potential Sanchoku on top of it.
Yep, and we'll take it. What a hand for Koichi. It just, and also just, there's nothing about that hand that you think that, from everybody else's perspective, like that looks like just a call and go hand. A little bit of hidden value there.
This is a tempai that will not be taken. No Yaku. Another pair. Is it time to switch? No.
We do not believe. We don't want to. We don't want to think about it. We like what we have.
Yeah, Ada recognizes that the lower Sozu is pretty strong on this board, so cuts the central pin tile and hopes to pull in 2-so and 3-so, but the 2-so is stuck in Justin's hand, and the 3-so has yet to be drawn.
That's probably going to keep this. Probably going to throw the south because then we can. Oh,
no. Sacrificing a little bit of efficiency here, perhaps, to guarantee the door Tonki, and wants to get that 2-so out ahead of time, but that does give over Tempai to Ada. Tempai also goes to Justin on the 3-so. Two players waiting on the 3-so.
Oh no, that's a tile that's loaded. Oh no!
Oh, Koichi shuts it down. Takame 5-so Sanshoku Chun alongside the door 2. This is the same story as we saw in the last game. Ada pulls ahead, and then Koichi finds a Mangan, a Sanshoku, a 5-6-7 Sanshoku Mangan to take the lead.
Sanzo enjoyers are in shambles after that hand.
Is 5-6-7 the new 2-3-4? We will find out. I know what to do in my games.
I'm already trying to get used to the current religious trends.
Meta?
Don't add another.
Ooh, big opportunity here for Justin. Oh, he spots it too. He says, I don't care about this Kanchan. Who needs efficiency when you can go for a flush or 5-6-7 Sanshoku? He's read the meta. He knows the trend. He knows he's going to find a 6-mon and then a 7-mon.
Did somebody get access to the patch notes for 2026 Mahjong ahead of time? Are we seeing like a preview? What?
Koichi gave the spoilers, and now everyone's jumping on board.
Oh, yeah.
Across the table, though, Ben had an interesting option with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs. Decided against it. Oh, he's going to miss out on Chitoi Tempai.
Oh, no.
Now you really got to wonder what's going to happen here. It's going to be 9-mon for Tanyao, 3-mon to hedge your bets. Fair enough.
Yep, I like that. It still gives you outs in case you want to shift this hand around. There's
okay, decides to go back.
There's the commit. We're not going to really want that 8. So anyway, even though this Hatsu's looking a little sad, it's one we haven't dropped yet.
I'm a bit surprised with that 3-pin. I thought 3-so was viable, and you might be able to shift into Chinitsu later, but maybe likes the 3-so given the position on the board, and is correct. Pairs up the 3-so. So now sits Ishantam 5-8-so along 2-pin and 3-so to draw into Tempai.
Interesting.
Oh, there's the Montenovo Sanshoku. Read the meta. I gotta understand.
Oh, and another
Koichi showed the way.
Another Chitoi miss for Ben too. These hands are just they should not go and play.
Hanyo. I see. Makes sense with the door too. Oh, but would have dropped the 6-mon into Sanshoku Tempai.
No,
I told you. You gotta play the meta.
Oh no.
Oh, it's so over. Justin, I gotta win this hand and prove that this was correct. And he might be able to. Remember, Koichi's hanging onto a copy of the two pin here. It is not showing, and Ada also is having trouble using this two pin. We'll sneak it into the hand, though. Actually, has a very easy way to use the two pin, looking for the pair. And now Tempai for Justin could snipe Koichi, maybe. Two pin three so has only no copies in the wall. The two pin for Ada might be kept. The two pin for Koichi is floating, and with Richi Tanyo, Koichi might just jam it out there. But dealer is showing presumably Tempai here, and so it's a little risky to jam a Dora this late into the game.
Yeah, at this point, it's best to let it go. We don't need.
Oh, three pin, huge draw. If Koichi wants to fight, he can go six pin. Or 5 months, 6 months, probably safer. A little inefficient because of the overlap, but efficiency doesn't matter as much as safety.
Oh.
Looks like the 5 pin 6 pin would have gone to Tempai, but more importantly, he didn't deal into Mongon.
The wall's got jokes today.
Ooh, little pawn here to shift the Haite away. Or rather, gift the Haite to the dealer, which is not going to matter because there are no copies left in the wall for him.
It shoves it back out. Nice 3K. Not a bad pickup for Justin either. Like 3K, we take that. We get it.
It's points.
Yep, points are points are points.
I was worried that after the missed Sanshoku that things would have been a lot worse. You know when you like miss your step or something. You know you lose flow. There's a phrase that's coming to mind, or is explicitly not coming to mind. It should be. You fall out of sync, and suddenly you find yourself behind, and things go awry. But fortunately, Justin's able to collect some points, keep the dealership, and maybe get a callable hand here to repeat once again.
Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. We're really liking... I wonder if that... I might have thrown the 9 pin there. Just in case it comes another pair, because this hand could become very callable, especially there. Wonder...
It looks like Justin's got the shapes he wants, so... another pair for Koichi, though, and this 9-so is still hedging everything. Okay, I wanted to point out this particular situation because it shows up a lot. Koichi with the west pair and the north pair. Neither seat wind or round wind contained in hand. It's really tough to play hands with those pairs. So a lot of times either you play for a flush and you just pom pom pom, you play for a toy toy and you pom pom pom, or you cut one of the pairs. In this case, the final option and one of the other common ones is go for all pairs, and it looks like that's what Koichi is going to be relegated to doing here.
And that all pairs, slight backfire there on the 1-1 pickup. Yeah.
Each.
Of course, all pairs is one of the hardest ones. It's one of the slowest. Ooh, it's a nice pickup here. What are we feeling?
9 pin, 8 pin.
This could end up with a Furitan shape, though, with the 1-mons.
You're right. I didn't notice the 1-mon had come out. It's very likely to. It needs... There's no 1-mon left, so it is guaranteed to be Furitan. Oh, has Justin noticed? Thinking, slams the Ricci, Furitan Shabo. 1 copy left in the wall. I was going to say Hellway, but it's not. There's... to his eye, there are 2 copies visible.
He's going to have to draw it, though.
Yeah. And Koichi broke away from one of the pairs, gets back to Ishan. Oh, no, cuts away from the north pair.
Yeah, we got dueling Tempais here. One of them, though, is much more live.
I don't know if he called out the Ricci across the table much earlier for the 5-8-mon. Ricci only.
Yep, but of course, the triplet of the 8-mon is in Justice hits. So at least those are safe. We just really have to worry about the 5 now, because I know. Oh my goodness.
Okay, you know why? You know why he won? Not only because of the Sananko, but he has a 5-6-7 in his hand. It's the residual effect of the 5, 6, 7 Sanchoku from the hand before. He read the meta. Deserved win for Justin.
All right, folks, get out your notepad. Start jotting this down. All right, this is a preview for
Remember
Mahjong
the
2026.
residual Sanchoku.
The one shape Sanshoku gives flow in the hands after it.
Yes, get Dustin on the line. We need to put this in the book of flow.
Make sure to take advantage of this before they patch it out at the next release of the WRC rules.
Okay, hang on a second. Ishanten already for Justin. Could even get Tanya cutting the Dora of all things. Maybe back or Itsu if you pair up the 3-pin or 4-pin. Great shapes all around the table though. Koichi looking towards a pin field. Already Tempai on the left for Ada. In fact, thought about not calling because this hand could be so much more as a Riichi, but ultimately decides to make the play.
Might be hedging.
And I guarantee you, if we see a 6-pin come out, there will be a con.
Oh yeah. Probably hedging the idea that this 9 Dora is not always the easiest to use. And you always, if you're going to cut Dora, you should cut it very early. But now people have to think.
Oh, hell. Oh, choices. You could play for the Itsu, and that's exactly what Justin's going to do. And there's that 9 for Koichi. Doesn't exactly fit in. And just as you called, it will filter out into Ada's hands. So 2,000 points plus the 2 Homba. It's going to be a nice pickup. And we got ourselves a game. Big sumo by Justin puts him into contention. And then the chip from Ada directly off of the leader means that there are 3 players directly contending for first place here. And you know what? Benjamin's not too far behind at 23-5, especially if you could put together a half flush here on the right.
Half flush, especially if we can find. Oh, never mind. I just saw where that other south. That's we're sad about that.
A double south would have been sweet, but we'll have to settle for the Haku instead. West is the Dora, so the Dora is in any Honitsu suit. It fits in nicely.
Nice pickup for the potential straight here as well to add another Han to this flush.
Oh, that's another great way to sneak in some extra value. Get the full straight 1 through 9. Itsu, a sneaky Han.
And it's times like this whenever there is a guest, what would be especially a guest wind Dora. Flushes could be very powerful because otherwise, if you even have a singular Dora, it's so hard to use when it's a wind, especially guest wind. But if you have a flush, you have a Yaku that can even let you open your hand and wait on it even as a single tile.
Okay, a couple big things happened here. First of all, Justin cut the West away before the Chuso came out, before it got a little bit too bad. And another thing, Benjamin committed to the Itsu here. Actually had the option between Tuso, Hatsu, Shoppo, where the Hatsu gives you just as much value, maybe even more, than the 3-so will, but opted for the Itsu here, and then conned to reveal that the last Hatsu was gone. It was in the dead wall. So theoretically making the right choice here. Issue here, problem for Koichi. He's got a Dora, and if he suspects that this is a flush, it's going to be hard to push that Dora. Even without a flush, a hand that's open with Yakuhai can easily Dora Tonki. So big decision to make in the near future here for our dealer.
Oh yeah, because of course, especially on an open hand like this, you can't write off the possibility. Dora Tonki is a great way. Even a threat of one is a great way to have other people jam up their hand with that tile.
Okay, Justin will deal in here. I saw the 4th copy of the 9-pin, and that will be the Mungon. Yakuhai, Hoitsu, Itsu. That sneaky Han there doing a lot of work. But Justin is well known in Midwest circles for loving the con, and so did well to not con before dealing in. Hang on a second. Is Benjamin doing it again?
Oh,
the Honitsu run back?
Look at this. However,
Itsu?
might be dueling a Pinzu Honitsu with Ada, who could hedge that idea, especially with the double. Boom.
With the double Yakuhai?
Yeah.
was gonna say Ada also has a reputation for playing the flush, and I think we're gonna see. I think exactly as you said, dueling flushes in the Pinzu. Although Benjamin hasn't completely committed yet. In fact, he cut away 7-9 pin.
Might be thinking that it might be thinking just ultra efficiently, like prioritizing the value from the called tiles.
At the Dora, we do have Tempai also for Koichi. 9-mon 5 pin, trying to play spoiler to these expensive hands. Another expensive hand added to the mix. Dora 2 across the way from Justin, if you can find it. What is that? Chitoi, 7 pairs, potentially, or even just a Ricci with 2 Dora. That'd be fantastic.
Oh yeah, we have but it's essentially a flush for Ben here. Oh, what do we cut here?
Oh,
No!
the 5 pin, that's a double room!
Oh no!
Had the spot that the 2 pin was slightly safer there against the flush, and it will deal the 8,000 back with an extra 1,600 tip to Koichi. And so going into South 4, we suddenly have a split battle. Ada's in first at 40,700, Koichi in second, 33-1, and then for third and fourth, it's Justin on the right, 24-3, and Benjamin just barely behind at 21-9, and we're going to have a duel here. Ada, great high pie though. E-shot done already, one away from Tempai. Probably wants to do better than an 8-so Kanchan, but looking good to improve.
Oh yeah. Right here, this is you might just want to scrape in the points you can get to just for the repeat. Oh nope. No even consideration for holding it on for possible door acceptance. Just wants the repeat here.
Yeah, this point gap not that large. What is this? 7,600 points separating Ada and Koichi. And so a lot of hands will overtake, especially because Ada is the dealer. And there's the call into Tempai on that 8-so. Again, looking for that to improve. Koichi plays for the Tanyao Dora 1.
1 8-so nestled in the hand, Justin's hand, one of them across the way. Not completely nestled in. Like usable, but
yeah, the 9-mon really telling that Koichi wants the Tanya, and if that's the case, we could see 8-so held a little bit longer. Oh, with 5, that's a bit of a problem. So you can still hold on to the 8 for now, as it's a little efficient to keep it, but it will come out and deal it. Not the biggest punish, just a 3,000 swing as 1,500 goes to Ada directly from Koichi. There are still conditions for Mongon Sumo to overtake, as the gap is now 10,600 points, and there's a Honba. In fact, something like even 5,200 directly will overtake. Between third and fourth, the conditions exactly the same with the addition of a Honba.
Yep, and honestly, it's gonna be a for if you're honestly partly looking to just see if you can get this once again back over 30K. Has the value to do it. It'd be a nice bonus to be able to hit Koichi here, but once again, another positive result is always nice to have.
Yeah, I mean, priority, finish positive, but you would love to get a first place. But again, Koichi's position in the standings doesn't really need to think about doing anything too fancy. And okay, we see Benjamin opening up here, one away from Tempai. There is a potential old meta 234 Sanchoku Brewing. Instead gets the Shabo Tempai 6-mon 4 pin with door 2. No tiles of that weight remain in the wall, so a little bit tricky to put together, although there's a world where Koichi ends up cutting 6-mon, 8-mon. Benjamin will hope to switch the weight around.
Yep. It's good. Yep, for Benjamin, yeah, there's no way that Justin's going to throw the 4 pins. Never. But
Yeah, actually, there's not really a good switch here. Might have been better to keep the 6-8 Kanchan over the Shampon weight.
Oh.
That being well, that's fancy. I was going to say, that being said, if Benjamin does get the Mongon, he does get over 3,000 points. So I do see the incentive to play for the 4 pin here.
And Ada looking to just pull in more points here. Do we even see the shift to the full flush? I don't. I think we're running out of time for that.
You should draw 8 mon maybe, but outside of that, I think just play efficiently. We do have Koichi Tenpai on 2
Sumo.
5 mon. Sumo, we'll get the shutdown here, and you called it. Play no longer for the first place, just rather for the positive result, and it'll be a nice +8 for Ada, rather for Koichi, pushing him into second place in the standings. Ada, as the sub, will get the first 26.6. Big hand there at the end to pull ahead. Justin sneaks by with a third place here, 11.1. Benjamin minus 23.5, respectable fourth place here, as we have completed 2 games.
Yep, I think. Let's go check the standings. Oh, that was updated just in time.
We've got a moment, a breather before our next game begins. So lots of time to check these standings. Just saw these Koichi climbing now up to 153.5, up to second place as well. I do believe you mentioned that this was a round 2 game, so technically we are in the third session of the league, of the season. However, one of these tables was delayed a little bit and needed to be played outside of their session, which is awesome that Armel provides the opportunity to do so. Well, my table might need to play the games outside of session, potentially, depending on what happens, but that's okay. We've got the time to spare. So this is kind of like a makeup game, but they are indeed getting them in. Love to see all the players working together to get their games in by the end of the season.
Oh yeah,
Koichi doing extremely well.
yep. And that's the nice thing is it can sound a little daunting. It's like, oh, you're playing like 4 games every 2 weeks, and it's like it's not so strict as that it has to be in those windows. You just have to get that's just your average. You have to get it's recommended to play within those time frames. But for example, one of my sessions we played early because one of the players at my table was traveling, so we went ahead and played him early. I have some that are playing a little bit late for the same reason. So, and especially on the holiday season, that can feel like a bit of a crunch. But really, so long as you're proactive about it, you can get all those games in.
Yeah, and of course, the players always do make their best effort to get those games in
Yep.
during the normal session.
Looking at the standings, you're really starting to see we're not enough in here. Of course, even as little as like 6 games in some cases, but anywhere from about 6 to 12 games. It's still not a complete data set for everybody. However, you still see some trends here in terms of how people play and how people seasons going. Looking at the deal-in rate here, we have interesting variety of where the deal-in rates are because towards the top, of course, when you deal in less, you do get more points. It's just a simple fact. You see 11, 8, 11, all the way down at 7.6. And then even then, you've got people who are well positive, like Chris and Andrew, at 14 and 15% deal-in rates, who have just been able to pull in good value on the flip side. And get some positive
Yeah,
results. And even conversely, there you still see, for example, Nicholas has a very nice, very good, the best dealing rate in the league, but has just not been able to pull in as many points this season to counterbalance it. That might even show maybe some damage from Sumo, which is not factored in there. A lot of different play
certainly.
styles on display.
I am not surprised, though, to see that the heat map for dealing percentage is a little bit warmer near the top of the division. I find that a lot of the experienced players that have played a lot of Mahjong before joining the league, like a Koichi, like a Junon, they tend to play very standard Mahjong, very respectful Mahjong. Stay out of the way of the dangerous hands, push when you have the good hands. And so their deal-in percentage does tend to be lower. They tend to find themselves up near the top of the division. And it is awesome, as a player that may be joining with a lot less experience than Koichi's been playing for however many decades, to have the chance to play against that and see what he is pushing, what he is folding, all the nuance in how he chooses his shapes, all those things show up in the game logs. And of course, for viewers that are interested in checking out the game logs, you're not just limited to what you see here on stream. Now, of course, we always love to share the mahjong on our regular Wednesday night broadcasts. However, more games happen outside of the session, and we've got options to view those games. I love you pulling up the screen for me. American.Ricci.org, Americanricci.org, a website where you can find all of the leagues. And in each league page, there is a listing of all the game results as they happen and a link to the log where you can view the exact game, the exact situations, the discards, the deal-ins, the wins. And if you've got a player that you say, hey, I like this playstyle, I think this player is really good, I want to see more, all you have to do is pop into that league channel, or rather league page on the website, and do a quick search for that player's name, find all of their logs. You can see exactly how they're doing in the season. You can match your playstyle to their playstyle. I think that's a really good part of being a member of the American Ricci Mahjong League is you can see so many different play styles, so many different super strong players that I try to emulate certain aspects of their game, and I have access not only to their logs, but within the channel itself, I can just ask them, hey, I saw you do this. Why did you do that? Do you think you would have done differently if the situation was a little bit different? So on and so forth. I've gotten such good feedback. A lot of players do log reviews. Tight. I saw you the other day. We're doing a log review in one of the voice channels here, and get great feedback from those as well. So it is fantastic that the opportunity is here. And of course, we have to shout out Edwin for creating this league. I mean, without Edwin, I don't think that anything of this magnitude would have been created for a long while. But we've got this wonderful league and a bunch of wonderful players as well.
Yes, yeah, the log reviews have been very helpful. Honestly, even just sometimes scrolling through other people's, but especially having access to the other players and just seeing not enough to me. There's also those log review tools that are like the AI and everything, and I definitely see the utilities in those, especially if you play a lot of ladder games. But a lot of those don't answer that key question you asked earlier, which is why. You
Hmm.
might like knowing what the optimal play, at least what it's telling you, is one thing, but knowing why it's the optimal play, I think, is more important because this is not like a solved game. Like there's so many different situations and variations to it, either between leagues or between point spreads, the type of people you're playing, and all of that needs to be factored in. So knowing why people made the decisions they did and being able to talk to those players is a really valuable insight. Because of course you want to know why you're making those decisions as well. Like why is that the right thing to do?
Yeah, it's one thing to imitate players. It's another thing to imitate with the wisdom that they have.
Yeah. So it looks
I
like
certainly found that out the hard way.
it does look like we are waiting on some games to start. Uh, I think we might go to just a brief intermission while we see. Uh, I believe it's going to be a B3 game, but judging by the number of people idle in the lobby, they may be running. They may be running a little behind. So we're going to take a brief intermission here. Take this opportunity to, you know, go take a break, go stretch your legs, run around your house once if you need to. But we will be right back in hopefully just a few minutes. Alrighty, folks. So it looks like we're having a bit of a rain delay on some of our upcoming matches here. We're not sure when those are going to start, but we're not going to leave y'all hanging. At the top of the hour, whatever that is for you, that'll be 9 Central Time. We do have a very exciting A1 game in store for us, so we're going to take a short break. Expect to see us back here in about 35 minutes. So we're going to take a quick break. I hope y'all get a chance to take a quick break too, and we'll see y'all back in a moment.
All right, seed a few for the top 3 players currently in A1.